Johnson for you. You're going to hear me say a slew of topics a few times today because we have a slew of topics, lots of topics to discuss. On this mostly sunny day, a little warm out there, not so bad. It's 87 degrees because it is New Orleans. Drew Brees is right. 87 degrees, feels like 89. I'll take that all day long in early June. You know, that feels like it is 97 degrees, feels like 107 is coming eventually. All I can say now and then, lots of H2O, agua, water. Hydrate up. I do it all show long. Now, that's one of the benefits I said yesterday of the program. I'm locked and loaded right here in front of this mic and camera for 2 hours. Lots of agua. Keeping me hydrated by default. Yeah, it's the real deal with Dan Reel. Very opinionated. Dan Reel is going to join us in about 13 minutes for the remainder of the 4 o'clock hour. And yeah, jailbreak day 18. Antoine Massey, Derek Grove still at large. Antoine Massey, where the video was shot, I said yesterday, this guy might be caught today. And that was yesterday, meaning he would have been caught yesterday afternoon, last night. But they did raid the home where the video was shot. I mean, they, zero in IP address, whatever it is. They're going to figure it out, get it verified. So they did raid the home. That means they questioned people at the home. That means most likely they arrested some of the people at the home. Plus, they're that much closer to Antoine Massey. And here's what I often say is the kicker. That house is in New Orleans proper. Like Antoine Massey is amongst us right now. He's among us right now. $50,000, as Jeff Landry called it a few weeks ago, a bounty, a $50,000 bounty. We'll talk about that when Dan Reel with the Real Deal joins us in a few minutes. This is really interesting. We'll discuss this faux show. A poll is out, the first mayor's race poll. We'll be voting in October. First poll from JMC Analytics. Now, before there were any polls released, I had Helena Moreno as the favorite in this race. Helena Moreno is Latina, and Helena Moreno is female. You're going to get black female votes for Helena Moreno by default, just like you get black female votes for Oliver Thomas by default. There's an automatic group of people, however you want to. First off, it's not some monolithic, thing. Black women are like anybody else, any other demographic group. They think in all kind of different ways. There might be some similarities. They're black women, white male, 18 to 34-year-old, whatever. I mean, everyone has some things that are obvious, but then there are a lot of differences. So some of those people by default are going to be like, man, Oliver Thomas is the black candidate versus this white woman or Latino, whatever. I'm voting for Oliver Thomas. I'm voting for the black candidate. Some black women are going to be like, I'm voting for a woman. I'm voting for Helena Moreno. She's a woman like me. I'm voting for her. And then Helena Moreno and Oliver Thomas are both going to try to land as many people as they can out of that demographic, which, by the way, black females, the number one voting demographic in New Orleans. When you want to win an election, you get the black female votes and you win the election. They're the number one group. They elect folks in New Orleans. Black females elect people in New Orleans, period, end of story. That's just how it is. So Helena Moreno is going to get some of that black female vote. Helena Moreno may get some black male vote. But the black female vote's much more important and much larger numbers. And then Oliver Thomas is going to struggle to get white vote. Oliver Thomas is going to struggle to get white voters. I did not think the disparity would be what it is right now in these polls, like 2-1. Helena Moreno winning right away in the primary in October. There'd be no runoff if the election were today, according to JMC Analytics and this poll. Helena Moreno getting 52% of the vote. Oliver Thomas, 23%, less than half. Arthur Hunter, about half of what Oliver Thomas would be getting, about 11%. 52% for Helena Moreno, 23% for Oliver Thomas, 11% for Arthur Hunter. Helena Moreno has about 8 times the chest for her election. Like, I don't know. By this point, I'm just making up the numbers based off of where they were and how much they were for how much he's raising. She could be closing in on like $2 million, and he's probably closing in on like $300,000 or $400,000. And it's probably closer to 300 for him, and definitely north of $1.5 million, 1.8 north of that for her. So could be 6-7 times more money, maybe more than that. So come July, Helena Moreno will be hitting the airwaves and the billboards and signs, and you'll be hearing a lot about her. And Oliver Thomas will be waiting a little bit. And then come August, you'll see a little trickle of Oliver Thomas and a lot of Helena Moreno. And then come September football season, it'll be both just pounding the airwaves. And Arthur Hunter probably by that point, if he's still in the race. I think it's October 11th. We'll talk about that poll. ICE raids the Mirabeau Gardens retention pond project over on Mirabeau right off St. Bernard Avenue. Why is ICE doing things like this? Seriously. What is gained? Like, what do we gain by ICE going into New Orleans where the project they're building is a retention pond to stop flooding, flood mitigation, and you go arrest 10 or 12 Latinos that are illegally here, I guess, or green card expired, or their visa, or whatever. What's the point of this? Like, what do we gain from this? It doesn't help us, I can tell you that. Use the resources for this. Seriously. The cops, the law enforcement, the SUVs, 20 of them coming and encircling the area, all the planning, all the effort put into it, all the investigative stuff, finding out where these 10 or 12 are digging a ditch out in Mirabeau and St. Bernard, Oak Park area, Gentilly-ish, and go arrest them. There's 2 at-large criminals. I'm not saying law enforcement isn't doing everything they can, but this ICE raid stuff, go after violent criminals that are a threat to us, not some migrant workers. You can label them illegal aliens if you want. I call them migrant workers. Guess what? They've been a part of America since day friggin' one, and they'll always be here. They do stuff, like no one else wants to do. Digging a retention pond on Mirabeau at St. Bernard Avenue, not taking jobs away from anybody. Not taking jobs away from anybody. It's ridiculous. We'll talk about that with Dan Reel. No, I want retention ponds and water features. Could you imagine ICE hitting New Orleans right after Katrina? We'd still be rebuilding. If it weren't for the migrant workers, New Orleans would have never come back. Dan Reel, the real deal, coming your way. In about 8 weeks, you can take an Amtrak from New Orleans to Mobile. We'll mention that. Carrollton on I-10, that garbage truck's still there. I think it's got graffiti on it now. The graffiti artists can get to it, but you and I can't. St. Bernard Parish, that was a contentious international terminal port container meeting back on Tuesday night. We'll talk about that. Chemtrail legislation in Baton Rouge. Really? Wow. That's embarrassing. Hey, every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra, right on the corner, the car corner, Williams Boulevard and I-10, right on the corner, right on the price. And you business owners in Metro New Orleans and beyond, wherever you can hear me, if you need a commercial truck, van, or SUV, it's Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Corey Johnson with you. Already June. Coming right back.
The Woodhouse Day Spa with 5 area locations. New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. ram.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson, where the grass hasn't been cut in weeks or months. There's a lot of trash and garbage on the neutral ground, maybe even a person or two taking a nap. And oh, someone didn't pick up the dog
Welcome back on a Tuesday afternoon. Corey Johnson with you. I just said Tuesday afternoon, 4:20. That means the real deal with Dan Reel every Tuesday afternoon, 4:20. Lots of opinions, lots of topics that Dan and I will hit on. How you doing this afternoon, Dan?
Good, Corey. Thanks for having me on. That lead-in was a flash from the past. It sounded like 1970s radio. You know what I love about this time is we do text about topics, but I literally have no idea where it's going to go, and I just enjoy that. So I hope the audience does too. It's, pretty fun. Yeah.
No, I used to, I'd go on a show or something, and people would be like, "Do you want me to send you what we're going to discuss?" And I'd be like, "No," because I generally knew what they were bringing me on for, and I didn't need the specific questions and all that because honestly, I'd rather just give kind of a spontaneous answer. I'm not too fearful I'm going to forget like a key point. And if I prepare, Dan, then I'm going to be sitting there thinking about copy points that I need to hit or something instead of just discussing it naturally. So anyway.
Yeah, I get that. I enjoy not having the notes. And the only thing is sometimes life gets in the way and you want to be prepared. But I always enjoy coming on. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. And then I often say, I remember this like month one doing radio in the beginning. Saying a guy told me, a mentor was like, "I don't know." He's like, "That's not a problem," saying that. I'm like, good. All right. I don't have to be the authority on every single thing. That's great to know. All right. You ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's roll.
I think this ice raid at this Mirabeau Water Garden construction site on St. Bernard, right off St. Bernard Avenue at Mirabeau, they're literally digging a big park with a huge retention pond to drain water in that Oak Park kind of Gentilly area over there. I don't care if it's a regular construction site that has nothing to do with benefiting the public. This sort of stuff to me, Dan, is just an entire waste of time and resources. All these folks, these law enforcement folks could be going out and catching real criminals that are, a threat to us. So I don't know why they do it. I don't know what we gain, like citizens of New Orleans, what is gained by it. I think it's the opposite. It doesn't help us. You could use the resources elsewhere, and you just scuttled a major retention pond project that benefits the city. So I don't get these ice raids for 10 or 12 people. They just seem silly, and you're arresting just essentially law-abiding migrant workers.
I don't know. It's a tough one for me. I think it all starts back at if you have secure borders, then this isn't a problem. But once it happens and it's close to home like this, and it's hardworking people, it's not the end of the world. But at the same time, the system cannot carry everybody that wants to be here, which says a lot about the country. But that is a part of the problem. So how do you get selective? How do you know who these 12 or 14 people were? They could be the greatest people, that we have in the city to help fix things up. But at the same time, you have to at least try to have some law and order. It's a tough one for me. My daughter's in Nicaragua right now, digging trenches for fresh water for the residents. And, it's her third year. She only had to go once. But the stories she tells me, and that's why she keeps going back, is, these countries are just never advancing. She could go back for 20 years to continue to dig trails for fresh water, and they would never run out of the need. So, I just don't know how long we're going to allow, or I don't know if it's allowed, but, so many countries all around every continent, you know what I mean? Like there's problems everywhere.
Yeah. I think just these folks have been part of the fabric of America forever. Post-Katrina, if ICE were coming here, the city and the state politicians, leaders would have run them out of the state post-Katrina. They saved our rear end post-Katrina, these illegals. I call them migrant workers, illegals. It doesn't matter to me. Are they technically illegal? Sure. But they as a group commit less crime than U.S. citizens commit. I just think it's a farce. I think it's political nonsense. Look, Biden and the other administration, just that typical woke attitude, in denial, didn't act like there was a border crisis. We see what controlling the border does. It keeps crime, it gets crime down, fentanyl down, things of that nature. So yeah, we definitely, there's a border crisis when you have too many people coming over. But I think these illegals have always been part of the fabric of our country, doing jobs no one wants to do, like farming, meat packing plants, seafood industry, hard manual labor type stuff, like digging a retention pond at Mirabeau and St. Bernard Avenue.
Corey, you can't go 4 years at a time without any attention at your border. You just can't do it. And, I have a lot of empathy. I really do. But you know how you fix that? You legitimately protect your border, and you put effort into allowing people into your country and having, a system that allows this to happen. Because we do need great people to do other jobs. It's just very tough to be selective right now. It shouldn't happen in the first place. It's really tough when it's already here. But I just look back and say, how could you just leave your borders wide open? You just can't do it.
No, you can't. You can't. But also, here's the other side of that, Dan. I'm in agreement with you. But also, those that are like, everyone has to come in, they have to be processed. I don't know if that's physically possible. And here's the thing that I've never seen a study. I think a college student could do like a dissertation. If we literally could snap our fingers and all illegals disappeared, what would the cost of fruits, vegetables, seafood, meat, chicken, poultry, pork, all these, milk, conservative dairy farmers in upstate New York say, get rid of the illegals. If you were lucky enough to find a gallon of milk on the shelf, it'd be $30. That's what they say, the conservative dairy farmers of upstate New York. So I just think the bottom line is,
how can you say that it's too hard to have a system of entry?
No. To literally document every single person that comes in, because the border's too vast and it's too hard. It's impossible to patrol. I mean, you're talking about like a sensor that would go up. You'd send border patrol folks there, and it would be a coyote or something. I mean, there's just no way to keep the ocean on either side. I'm not saying don't put an effort, Dan, to make it like full, but it's like a jail escape. I guess it can happen sometimes. I'm not trying to accept it. I'm not too concerned about that. If you do what you're saying, I'm fine with it. But I'm saying you get rid of illegals, and the numbers we have, they just work naturally. Everything we pay for would cost more. So I think we benefit from them, and it's not a negative.
Well, we'll just disagree on that, because I just think if you get it set up the right way, it takes takes some time, no doubt about it. But you can have an advanced entry system then. You have at least limited your risk of who's coming in. It doesn't need to be perfect. And the prices, you hear about that all the time. I hear you. It's true. But you can let enough people in to do that. 22 million people who we don't know who they are. As badly as I feel for them, it's unacceptable.
It's the real deal with Dan Real. It's unacceptable, this chemtrail bill in Baton Rouge. That's kind of mind-blowing to me. I think planes have exhausts coming out of the jet engine. That's hot air that's expelled. They're high up in the atmosphere. There's condensation coming off the wings. Period. End of story. But in Baton Rouge, the House passed a bill banning chemtrails, Dan. I mean, what are we going to do? Ban commercial jet aircraft flights or any aircraft flights that happen to fly when the atmosphere is right to put off a condensation trail? What do you think of this legislation? I think it's embarrassing.
I think it's ridiculous. And I've spent enough time in Baton Rouge during the sessions that there are many bills like this that don't get out to the public that are just ridiculous. When we're at Jazz Fest, I love seeing those planes go over and they make the smiley face in the sky. I've never heard that there's chemicals in there.
Oh, well, that's different.
Find out about it.
That's different.
Find out about it from some legislator we've never heard of.
That's even different. That's like a plane that's a Skywriter that's putting out some type of a chemical, but it's not toxic, and it's just writing something in the sky. I'm not even talking about that. These commercial airliners we all fly on, it's exhaust and condensation. The plane isn't loaded up with a chemical that it's spraying out of its wings as it flies. So this legislation is going to get national attention. Yeah, no, it's not a crop duster. It's going to get national attention. It's just embarrassing. And it's like, we're banning Casper the Ghost. Something that
the time and attention that goes into some of these bills is ridiculous. Now, there are some people that are doing legitimate work there, and there's stuff getting done, which is good. But just go there one day and sit and listen to what's going on. You'll be impressed by a lot of it, and you're going to scratch your head for about 2 hours of other things.
No, I don't know if it was expectations that were unrealistic, but when I was at LSU and I was 19, I got a job as a intern at the Senate. And I'll never forget going in there, how disappointed I was. Like, these are our leaders. These men are supposed to be special. These men are supposed to be really intelligent. These are the men that are supposed to take Louisiana forward. I'm 19 years old. By 2-3 weeks into it, I was so disillusioned. We're coming right back. The Real Deal with Dan Real.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Changing talk radio in New Orleans for the better. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
It's The Real Deal with Dan Real. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon, 4 o'clock hour. We roll all the way till 6 on radio, on television, on YouTube. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. It don't cost nothing. Hey, by the way, our Humane May fundraiser, they've stretched it just I shouldn't even say we're stretching it. You can go to the website, humanela.org, and my banner is still at the top, laying on the sofa with Blue Boy. You can click on that and still donate. We're right around like $8,500 of our $10,000 goal. I'm hoping we hit it. I want to hit it. So you can still donate, and maybe we will hit it. HumaneLA.org is the website. And I'm whining, talking about it down. I might mention it once again tomorrow. I'll mention it once again in the 5 o'clock hour. That's about it, because it's Humane May. We'll do it again next May if we hit the goal or not. During pandemic years, we got to like 83 one year, 86. Last couple of years, we hit like 12.5. So we made up for the deficit. It is The Real Deal with Dan Real. Dan, JMC Analytics released a poll for the mayor's race. Helena Moreno, 52%. Oliver Thomas, 23%. Arthur Hunter, 11%. 15% undecided. I mean, right now it is a runaway. Right now it would not even be a runoff. I think things will change a little bit. But ultimately, I think Helena Moreno is going to be mayor. She's going to get a lot of black female votes. And I don't see Oliver Thomas getting a lot of white votes, generally speaking. That's how I see it. What do you think?
I think it's over, barring a scandal. Let's not waste any money. Let's just move on and commit to doing better than what we have right now.
You think it's over in what regard? Helena Moreno?
Yeah, I think that, I think it's done. She's dominating him in money. And I know in politics, especially, again, I'm from Chicago, and, there's a lot of antics there, but I just think it's over. I think it's time to move on from the current administration. It can't happen fast enough for me. And I just hope that, we don't continue this try to please everybody agenda and actually get stuff done.
Primaries early October, I think the 11th. Runoff would be in November. Latoya the Destroyer, a.k.a. Junket Cantrell, is out in January. No, in full agreement, can't get it done quick enough. I think the race will tighten up somewhat. If Arthur Hunter stays in the race, that might prevent Helena Moreno from winning in the primary. But if Arthur Hunter drops out the race, she probably will win it in the primary. Might win it in the primary either way, but it's going to be interesting to see where that 15% undecided goes, and if Oliver Thomas can do something to stimulate voters. But the number one voting demographic in the city, black females by far, and I think by default, each candidate gets some of that. Oliver Thomas will probably get more. He black guy. Helena Moreno, female, is going to get some black female votes by default, Dan.
Yeah, I just think, and maybe I'm wrong, you're right, if Arthur gets out, probably tightens up. I told you I think Oliver is a pretty polished politician. I just, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, I think there's a difference of entry into this campaign, which when Mitch left, there was sort of an anointment or an anointing of LaToya, and she and I don't have a good past. All I'll say is that. And what I will tell you is it was almost like a celebration, and that was her thing. I think Helena or Oliver are going in, and their drive, in my opinion, I'm not naive, every politician is different, but I think the person is different regardless. And the reason they're going there is different than the one we have before.
Hey, Dan, it's day 18 of the jailbreak. Antoine Massey posted a video. They raided that house today. That seemed inevitable. They're getting closer. He wasn't there. They didn't catch him. But obviously they're interviewing people at the house, probably made arrests from people at that house. It's in New Orleans, too. So Antoine Massey apparently is with us in New Orleans. And Derek Groves, some folks said maybe they're together. Who knows? But I don't know. Unless Massey's super smart, posting that video in New Orleans and then getting on a rocket ship and going as far away as humanly possible, I think they're right on his tail.
There's no doubt. I mean, this can't go on forever. There's not unlimited resources, 12 to 15 or whatever it is by now. Others have been arrested. 20 grand per person sounds pretty good for a resident. Even if he did get on a plane or whatever it may be, I just don't think that's a realistic outcome. So I hope they catch them both soon. This is Massey's fourth prison break, I think. So in the industry I was in with the casino, what you do is you make sure they don't get near anything important, but you pick their brain about what's going on. So if this guy has 4 escapes, when he gets arrested again, first of all, it's never going to happen again. But I'd ask him about, what are the flaws in our system? This is ridiculous.
This Ukraine drone attack, I thought was so impressive, sort of Trojan horse. Russian truck drivers bringing these containers with these roofs right up to the military bases, thinking they're delivering something to the military base. And then from afar, the Ukrainians open up the roofs of these containers, drones fly out, and they knock out, I don't know, reportedly $7 to $8 billion in Russian aircraft, about 40%. A lot of these aircraft used to bomb Ukraine. There's this worry that Russia's going to take it up to another level. Where do you go from where you are? You're already bombing civilians, hospitals, all this. Putin's a madman and he's a murderer and all that. He's not going to drop a nuclear weapon on Ukraine. I don't even think that is a legitimate concern unless something dramatic happened with Ukraine just doing something, their own that's sort of crazily offensive. All I think Ukraine's doing is trying to protect themselves. And it's a Russian invasion. I think it was incredible what Ukraine did. And somehow this war needs to end. But you can't give Crimea and Donbass and all of this Ukraine territory to Putin and Russia. And I don't think Putin and Russia are going to end the war unless they get some of the Ukraine territory. So I don't know where this thing's going, but I like how Ukraine keeps fighting.
Yeah, I just wish that this would all come to an end. I mean, I thought that was really cool, unbelievable. It's kind of like the beeper attacks that were staged. There's a lot of ingenuity, in these countries, and that was pretty cool. But unfortunately, I wish it was a movie and not reality.
Yeah.
I'm happy that Russia, was the one that really took the brunt of it. That's good for the world because it was significant, but he's not stopping. So I'm from the world. We've talked about this briefly. Maybe right after that's a good time for the world to maybe get involved and try to slow him down, but helping them fight more, it's not the right move. This doesn't end. It doesn't end well. End it.
Yep. No, I'd love to see it end. Hopefully, they have peace talks going right now, or supposed to be. So hopefully this thing does end. Hopefully Putin got some kind of message that, this could happen.
I mean, listen, Europe needs to step up, and we need to get this thing addressed and done now. It's a lot more than just these two countries going back and forth at each other. The country's in tatters, and, Zelensky, I think that I think he wants to fight, and he wants more money, and he wants more stuff. And I know you want them to continue to do well. I want it to end. I'm not a peacenik, but I do believe that you look at this as what is likely going to happen. And if they keep fighting, it will never end. And so you got to draw the line somewhere. And why not better at a time when you really just gave them the last punch?
Carrollton at I-10, that garbage truck's still there. Although I will tell you, Dan, I drove by there. I was going to play golf early in the morning. It was like 6:30 or so, maybe like 6:30, I think. And there was it was ants on a sugar cube, a bunch of trucks, pickup trucks parked, and a bunch of guys in yellow vests and hard hats working on getting that done. So that was good to see.
Yeah, and I think if it's taking this long, we talk about ineptitude sometimes, and other times, again, you and I have a different level of anger on this one. This one for me is sort of, it's emblematic of some problems, but I don't spend a lot of time worrying about it. It does impact my travel, as I've told you, but I'm not sweating it. It's going to be gone. And if all those trucks can't solve it, there's got to be a problem, and a legit one, why it's still there. That's just my opinion. More importantly, what did you shoot today?
Oh, that day? What did I shoot? 85 or 86, something like that.
That's not bad.
No, it's okay. I like to try to break 80. That's when I kind of go home happy, and then anything else, I'm like, just an average round. But, I probably have unrealistic expectations too, Dan.
Yeah, I haven't played in 18 months. I love the golf, but it's just not in the cards right now.
No, I hear you. Pun intended. Dan Reel's with us, The real deal. Audubon Gutters is with me. Get it and forget it. Get what? The Leaf Guard system. Forget it. Forget hiring someone to use a ladder to get up on your roof or to clean out your gutters. I got gutters from Audubon Gutters with the Leaf Guard system. I'll never have to clean my gutters again. Nearly 35 years, New Orleans gutter company for your home or business. AudubonGutters.com. AudubonGutters.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Roll call.
Kenner, Metairie, Harahan, River Ridge, Algiers, Gretna, Harvey, Terrytown, West Wego. We got you covered.
Dan Reel's with us, the real deal. Hey, Dan, last Tuesday you joined us, last Tuesday night. So we're kind of talking about it now because it happened after our last visit. A pretty contentious meeting down in St. Bernard Parish. I mean, I think since this port has been announced, Sidney Torres III, the lawyer, very influential. You know, he's in Rocky and Carlos. No. Everybody's around that parish is hearing a lot of no for this port terminal. Jeff Landry, I think, tapped the right guy, Michael Heck, to maybe convince these St. Bernard folks about some of the positives and maybe flip the script. I talked to him about, he's like, have to get them involved, have to have face-to-face talks, hear what their concerns are, overcome their concerns. The point is this international terminal, in my opinion, first off, it's Metro New Orleans. I am pro St. Bernard, pro North Shore, pro River Parishes, pro Metro New Orleans, pro Metairie, all of it. Second, we've got to have this container terminal, and there's not like a gazillion places to put it. The Plaquemine West Bank model doesn't work. No rail, no interstate access. The St. Bernard model works. They're going to build $1 billion road to I-510 to the interstate. For the citizens of St. Bernard, it'll double as a hurricane evacuation route, an elevated way out, which they deserve. The port director said this project has to be built. It's vitally important. Mobile passed us in containers. Number of containers moved. Mobile, Alabama. That can't happen. So we got to get this thing built. What are your thoughts on the international terminal? And the St. Bernard folks right now, very much against it.
Impact them, but this needs to get done, and it's going to make the city and the surrounding areas better. And yeah, it's going to be hard for a couple of years, but you know, most of the things that end up being great for our city, people fought against them. And you know, I worked at one of them for 14 years. It adds to the city if you do it right and do it well. I think Michael is a very sincere, talented guy, and if they get to hear from him, he will try to do everything he can to make their lives as good as it could possibly be with that kind of disruption. But, my wife taught me the days go by real slow, but the years go by real fast. And you know what? That ship in 2028 is going to be here before you know it. It's going to be good jobs. The roads are going to be paved, and it's going to be over with, and you move on.
Yep. No, I agree. Hey, in about 8 weeks, you can take Amtrak train service from New Orleans to Mobile, Alabama. There'll be stops like in Bay St. Louis, Gulfport, Biloxi, Pascagoula, and then Mobile, and then coming back. I mean, eventually, maybe you could get to Pensacola, Florida on the train, and the beaches over there as well. One side of me is like, it's federal government, it's Amtrak. Is there going to be enough business where this works? And another side of me is like, well, they try this crap all around the rest of the country. Why don't we get a crack at it? And if it does work, I think it'll be a really great thing for the area. What do you think? I mean, they talk eventually like Orlando to New Orleans, Dan. That would be incredible.
Yeah, I really can't believe we're talking trains in 2025, but I do think the idea is good. And, more people you can have be interested in traveling here and also maybe checking out Mobile or other places. It's going to be affordable. So I think it's a good thing. I'll never be on the train, but I think it's good for the city because it gives, again, people opportunities to do things that they might otherwise not do. And we'll see. It can't hurt, in my opinion. We judge how well it does with tourism and see what the impact is, see if the citizens like it, and go from there.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, you just stop the service eventually.
Yeah.
The thing that you're right about, it's funny we're talking about trains in 2025 that run the same as they've run for the last 25, 50 years. Now, if we were talking about bullet trains like in Asia and in Europe, it would be an entirely different subject. I'm in full agreement. If it's going to be trains like this, Dan, my God, at least have like the Bayona car, the restaurant car, have the Maple Leaf Music Club car, have the Caesars gaming car. I mean, it's a train. Add 10 cars and you can go to, the movie theater car. You can go to the gaming car. Make it a little more fun and kind of enjoyable instead of, train ride.
Yeah, I'm a high-speed rail believer. I think that is pretty cool. I think that's forward thinking. But otherwise, one of the things my dad did for me in life, and he did a lot, he ran a railroad in Chicago, and he was my hero at the time. I'm a kid growing up, and I wanted to run a railroad. And he said, there is no way in hell you're going to come in through the railroad industry. Stay as far away from this as you can because it's going away soon. And so, although it's not all the way gone, I am really happy that he steered me away because that, it just wouldn't have given me and my family a chance to live a better life.
Yeah, and we had, such good phone systems here, a copper wire compared to, say, like Europe, where for years, it was great phone service and their phone service was mediocre. Then as cellular took over, Europe and Asia actually had superior cellular service to us a generation ago because we still relied on the copper wire. And now we've obviously abandoned it, and we have same cell services everywhere else in the world, essentially. But we had inferior 20 years ago. I think the train concept's the same thing, Dan. So much infrastructure, so much of it laid down, coupled with we fly everywhere in this country. Yep. We fly. Europe and these other Asian countries, they develop bullet trains, and we sort of missed that boat. Sadly.
Hey, before I get dog barked off your show, give me a rating. My 23rd anniversary this weekend. GW Fins. What do you give me for making the reservation there?
Oh, you're asking me, you made a GW Fins reservation for your 23rd anniversary, and how do I rate that?
My call. That's where I want to go. What do you think?
I think that's a hell of a call. You're hitting a top 15 restaurant in the metro area. Your boy Tenny, he does a great job over there.
Yep. Take care, Corey.
Blue Boy likes it too. Thanks, Dan.
On the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM. WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all of the time.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, It all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. The 5 o'clock power hour is upon us. Yeah, you're right. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. I was trying to explain to a buddy of mine, Mario, that the work week goes by faster per day than the weekend. The weekend goes by entirely too damn fast. I'm not saying it doesn't. But like this is Sunday, if you want to count like Sunday night is Friday night.
Yeah.
We're already at Sunday night. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I don't know. I think the weekends definitely go by too fast. But I don't know. As I've gotten older, I think the work week goes by faster.
Yep.
I also think a week of work goes by faster than a week of vacation.
Yeah, that's true.
I think a week of vacation is slower than a work of week.
Yeah.
I mean, a week of work.
Exactly. A fast week doesn't necessarily mean a pleasant week.
Yeah,
so I
exactly.
feel what you're saying.
Anyway, now the bad day fishing compared to a good day at work, I don't know about that. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Mario Brothers. Mario Bro, a.k.a. Latin X, because we're politically correct on this program, by golly. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Day 18 of the jailbreak. I mentioned yesterday Antoine Massey posting this video on social media that he's innocent from someone's kitchen. That yesterday I was like, he might be arrested this afternoon or tonight. Law enforcement is going to zero in from where that, IP address, cell phone, whatever, wherever that transmission came from. Today's technology will know where it is. They raided that house today. That house in New Orleans. So Antoine Massey is amongst us. Some say with Derek Groves. Not sure if that's true or not. Groves was not at all in the video. But they raided the house where the video was produced. So I'm sure people that live at that house have been questioned. Some were arrested, most likely. And it also means law enforcement is that much closer to catching Antoine Massey. They are right on his tail. Forensically, digitally, and physically right on his tail. I think Antoine Massey, if Groves is with him, they're both getting caught pretty quickly. If Groves is somewhere else, I think Antoine Massey is getting caught sooner than later. Sooner than later. A mayor's poll is out. JMC Analytics. Helena Moreno, 52% of the vote. Oliver Thomas, less than half, 23%. Arthur Hunter, less than half of Oliver Thomas, 11%. Helena Moreno, right now, getting 29% of the black vote in New Orleans. I've been telling you this for a long time. I don't have an agenda. I don't care. I'm trying to be fair and objective about it. Helena Moreno is Latina. Latino is a Latina. She's going to get some black female vote by default. Oliver Thomas, black male. I don't know how much white vote he gets. It's not like, equal and opposite. Helena Moreno right now is polling at 29% of the black vote. I mentioned black females, the most vital group, most vital demographic. Black females win elections in New Orleans. Black females elect people in New Orleans. They're the number one voting demographic group. You win over black females, you win the election. They're clearly number one. Helena Moreno, being female, will get some black females, without a doubt. Oliver Thomas, being male, won't get white males because of that. It doesn't cross over at all the same way. Helena Moreno will get some black males, but it's the female demographic, black female demographic, that's key. Right now, she's garnering 29% of the black vote. So she's getting 3 out of 10 black voters, and Oliver Thomas is getting 7 out of 10. Oliver Thomas loses that race every day, all the time. And when you talk about the breakdown of New Orleans demographics, 20 years ago, it was 70% black. Now it's under 60%, like 56, 57, 58% black population. And the white population in New Orleans is like a full third, like 33%. So you're talking about a 15% disparity in black-white voters, like black voters just 15% higher than white. It used to be 40% higher, like 40% higher, 70-30. It's 58-33 now. It's much closer. It's much tighter. Also, the white population in New Orleans, percentage-wise, votes more than the black population in New Orleans. So one could argue that maybe it's equal in New Orleans, like black to white voters, or black voters have just a slight edge that's less than the actual demographic numbers of 58% to 33%. So I think Helena Moreno, I've always said this, is the favorite to win this thing. Pretty much a prohibitive favorite because she's going to garner black votes. She's going to get black female votes, the most coveted in this race. And Oliver Thomas isn't going to garner many white votes. Will Helena Moreno win in the primary? Maybe. But there might be a runoff. She also has a lot more money, close to $2 million in her war chest. Oliver Thomas, maybe $300,000. Helena Moreno, 52% of the vote right now. Oliver Thomas, less than half of that, 23%. Arthur Hunter, 11%. Undecided, just 15%. If Oliver Thomas got all the undecided vote, he would trail 52% to 38%. So Oliver Thomas has a lot of ground to make up with 7-8 times less money as Moreno. And Moreno doesn't have much apparent baggage. I don't know what skeleton is in Helena Moreno's closet. Oliver Thomas has an exposed skeleton. You know, going to jail, taking bribes, taking a payoff from Pampy Barre so Barre could keep the French Quarter parking contract. Now that the poll numbers are a lot higher than I thought. I would have thought it would have been like, Oliver Thomas, 30%, Helena Moreno, 40-something percent, and undecided at like 25 or 30, but it's not like that. Long, long way to go. This election really hasn't even started yet. Besides some, old school political signage in people's yards and the big 4x8s on some businesses, maybe a few billboards. Not a whole lot going on. They're going to be pounding the radio and television airwaves as the summer progresses. And I think you're going to see Moreno a lot more over a longer period of time because she has the money to spend. The election's in October. A runoff would be in November. Junket Cantrell gone in January. That can't come soon enough. Old Junket Cantrell enjoying the 15 minutes of fame because come January, nowhere to go. No one anywhere offering her a job that pays money because what does she deliver for them? People don't give people money unless they get more money back in return. She doesn't have anything to deliver. And that's if she makes it to January. Still may be indicted. The feds move at their own speed. I said it last week. I forgot who it was on the program, Raphael Goyeneche, or was it Joe Responti, New Orleans attorney, that you catch on Fox 8 every Tuesday morning. Never have seen an indictment of a public person, and it's about a payoff or bribe to public official number one, public official A, and that public official, who is LaToya Cantrell, in a trio of indictments, has never been indicted as well. So, no, I still think LaToya Cantrell better keep her high-paying attorney and worry about a federal indictment, which I think she is, because anytime I see her publicly at night especially, she is slamming some alcoholic beverages. She can drink. LaToya Cantrell can legitimately drink me under the table. No problemo. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning's been around since 1940. 85 years of excellence. Fourth generation. They'll do you right like they've been doing me right for like 30 plus years. That's how long I've been going to Young's. Why would I go anywhere else? Someone's got to be the best at what they do. When it comes to dry cleaning in New Orleans, the best is Young's. Want to experience the best? Yeah, get rid of your dry cleaner that you don't like. YoungsDryCleaning.com. YoungsDryCleaning.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is in Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Not an FM disc jockey, not a former politician, Corey Johnson.
You're not the DJ. You're a raconteur. You're a storyteller. You're a griot.
It's true. Huh? I thought I was a disc jockey.
What is a raconteur, if you don't mind me asking?
Let's get the good definition of that one.
I think of racketeering when I hear that. Maybe I haven't seen too many Diddy videos in the trial, but that's what it sounds like.
Well, I'll have to figure that one out. Raconteur definition. Oh, God. You know what I just pulled up? Raccoon Tour. There's a band called Raccoon.
That's what we're looking for.
Wow.
But hilarious.
Google that for us. Definition.
I got you. My curiosity's piqued.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got a buddy that you could give him a word that he's never seen before, and he could just break down prefixes and suffix and all this and give you the definition of the word eventually.
A person who tells anecdotes in a skillful and amusing way.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe that's a good one. It's a nice compliment.
That's a very fancy way of saying that, I feel.
Yeah, I think so. You going to use it?
Like, you're clever? No, I'm a raconteur.
Exactly. But that's clever and good storytelling as well.
Yeah.
Lots of parts involved in that.
Yes.
Hey, it's day 18 of the jailbreak. Antoine Massey still at large. They did raid the house that he shot that video in that was on social media. Derek Grove still at large. First mayor's poll is out. JMC Analytics. Helena Moreno, 52%. Oliver Thomas, 23%. Arthur Hunter, 11%. 15% undecided. I don't understand, these ICE raids, honestly. Could you imagine if law enforcement went after violent criminals? Now, I'm not saying we aren't, but all the resources we're using for, like, example, this raid at this water feature they're building, this retention pond, this Mirabeau water garden on Mirabeau right off St. Bernard Avenue. ICE spent time and money figuring out that, wow, some of these folks digging this ditch, this retention pond that is of vital importance, they're illegals. Let's check out the site. Hey, they're here. They come every day. Let's set up a sting operation when we get them. Okay, we need 20 cops, 5 cars, come from all directions, catch them when they're running. And that's what happened. I just want to know why. 766-9480. Why we spend money rounding up migrant workers, illegal aliens that are doing work for us, like post-Katrina. Could you imagine if ICE would have come to New Orleans in 2005? Citizens, government officials, all would have run them out of the city and state. They saved our ass. It's not even close. They save our ass today. All the crap no one wants to do, like meatpacking plant, farming, all of this, dairy farming, milking cows, digging a retention pond in New Orleans, Louisiana in June. No, these migrant workers, these illegal aliens bust their ass. They work hard, get the job done, do it for less money, a job that no one wants to do. No Latino citizen, no black citizen, no white citizen, no Asian citizen, no male, no female wants to do this work. These Latinos coming across the border, they embrace it and they bust their rear end. They're prideful. Illegal aliens commit less crime per capita than U.S. citizens commit per capita. You want to pay conservative dairy farmers in upstate New York. They say this about getting rid of illegal aliens. I mean, they readily admit they employ them. New York does nothing about it. You want to know why? And neither do the feds. You want to know why? Because the illegal aliens in the upstate New York dairy farming industry, these conservative dairy farmers say 2 things if you get rid of the illegals. 1, if you can find a gallon of milk on the shelf, if it's there, it'll be $30 a gallon. Nebraska one time had a great idea. Let's get rid of all the illegal aliens. They're taking jobs away from our citizens. It shut down the meatpacking industry. Within a week, they revoked the law. Everyone came back, and within a few months, the meatpacking industry was back where they were, and the idiot lawmaker that came up with that legislation was ousted. Now, this is all political crap and nonsense. It's all BS. This is how politicians fool us. Left and right, equal at doing it. Create some problem that really doesn't exist, and then double down and say your woes in life, why you're suffering, why your life sucks, is because of these people. They took your jobs, your manufacturing jobs. We're never going back to being some manufacturer of minor goods. Never, ever going back to that. We'll always be importing that stuff because we can get it cheaper somewhere else. No, 766-9480. Why raid this job site in New Orleans? Second, why raid a job site where they're digging a retention pond in flood-prone New Orleans? I mean, it's like double to stay away from this group. What is gained by raiding this construction site, 766-9480? It doesn't help any of us. It only hurts us. That project's now on hold. And worse, the feds could be using these resources where they rounded up a dozen workers, basically doing nothing wrong except helping us, doing work no one here wants to do in America, instead of rounding up dangerous criminals. What a waste of resources. This is all a farce. Deportation, illegal aliens, all of this. Not taking anyone's jobs away, the opposite. Doing jobs no one wants. Not hurting us, the opposite. Helping us. Making sure that, everything's already expensive as is, but at least it's buyable still and viable still, like fruits and vegetables, seafood, meat, pork, chicken. Thank you, migrant workers. Thank you, illegal aliens. We'd be paying a fortune for that stuff otherwise. No, it's all political nonsense. 766-9480. It's a waste of our time. It's a waste of resources. It's a waste of taxpayer money. Instead of getting real violent criminals, it's these people that aren't doing anything but helping us. And it's just a farce. It only hurts. It doesn't help. And it's all for political gain. So people that are running for office or are already in office will get reelected because this is bacon hitting a sizzling plate. This is foam at the mouth type stuff for a lot of people. It's not what the facts say. It's what they want to believe or what they hope is true. They're taking our manufacturing jobs. They're hurting the country. They're violent criminals committing crime, blah, 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 blah. Just a bunch of crap based off of incorrect assumptions. Life's pretty simple as a human being. You come up with a logical premise that's fact-based. You come up with a second one. That premise that's logical and fact-based. Those two logical, fact-based premises lead to a logical, fact-based conclusion. When your foundation is crap, coupled with your second foundation being crap, the house collapses. The argument collapses. That's when people raise their voice, start pounding the table. They're killing people. They're not paying taxes. We're carrying them. Blah, 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 blah. 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, television audience, it's almost 5:30. That means we say adios to folks watching on Cox Channel 4 statewide. We say adios to folks watching on Spectrum Channel 333 statewide. You probably don't even know it, but you probably have a smart TV. You can probably go to YouTube Live on your TV. The Nutri-Round with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Till 6 o'clock. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Or on 93.9 FM till 6 o'clock. There goes the TV audience. Mario Brothers, wave to them. Mario Brothers is behind the glass. There's no camera or anything on him, and he's friggin' waving his hand at me right now. What's wrong with you, dude?
Instinct. I don't know.
Jeez and Pete.
I'll do as I'm told.
Jump.
Nah, I'm not jumping.
You're not?
You ask for too much now.
You're supposed to say how high.
Nah.
I want 3 feet. I want a 36-inch vertical.
3 feet.
You're not doing that.
Nah.
No shot.
Nah. That was my weakness in basketball. I'm an okay shooter. I'm an okay defender. Can't jump.
Wow. I don't believe any of that. I think you're a mediocre shooter and a worry as a defender. You are a concern as a defender.
I appreciate getting that respect, but only one way to find out.
You're not a soccer player. You're Latino. What's up with hoops?
That's interesting. I always tell people I was pretty good at soccer. I played 3 downs of varsity football at Brother Martin the whole time. I'd never gotten a game. I would have been a lot better had I played soccer, but I just liked football a lot more.
All right, let me guess. How many years you play football at Brother Martin?
3.
3 years of varsity ball?
No, I only played varsity my 10th grade year.
So you played 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And you got 3 plays total.
Yep.
All right, I'm guessing you played. Don't tell me.
You're not gonna get it.
Are you fast or quick?
I guess I was. Yeah, but not enough to be a skill position. I'll give you that.
Okay,
hint.
yeah, no, I knew that.
Not a skill position.
Sorry, I knew you weren't playing wide receiver or corner.
Mm-hmm.
You're either playing like a, halfback, running back, or linebacker, or something like that. Maybe safety. I don't know.
Oh, you getting closer, but you
tight end?
Nope.
What?
Even closer. I was an undersized defensive end. Yes.
Rudy.
Yes.
Friggin' Rudy.
150 pounds. They got me.
Why they should have been a safety and linebacker?
They made everybody had to drink protein shakes. I had to drink them with like 3 scoops of ice cream.
Wow. Brother Martin, an athletic program, not a school.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's called more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
You're listening to The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. What's wrong with you?
I immediately regret this decision.
Every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx at the controls. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Mario Brothers loves sports. Mario Brothers, LSU finally dispatches Arkansas Little Rock 10-6. What, super regional with West Virginia, right?
Yep, West Virginia coming to Baton Rouge.
And I'm guessing West Virginia was like a 3 or 4 seed out of that Clemson regional.
Yeah, they weren't.
Clemson was either 1 or 2. Kentucky was either 1 or 2,
yeah,
right?
All LSU fans have felt like expected either Kentucky or Clemson. Yeah,
No, thank God it's West Virginia in a way.
Yeah, they say that. They said that about Little Rock, and it didn't look too good.
Well, no, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I called Little Rock, Rhode Island all yesterday.
Baseball is the one sport where upsets like that can happen. Like I was talking with Marlon Favorite, former LSU football player yesterday, and I was like, y'all will never lose to like UL or Southeastern in football. In basketball, that would never happen. In baseball, it's happened.
Oh, no. Every like 20, 30 times you're going to lose to a much inferior, mediocre program.
Like that team had a losing record. They had lost like 9 straight games to end the regular season, and then they just went on a tear in their conference tournament.
That's it. I mean, hot streaks are ridiculous in baseball, like no other sport.
Yeah.
Like no other sport.
Yeah.
I mean, Coastal Carolina wins. Was it Coastal Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
They won the baseball national championship.
Yeah. And
Coastal Carolina. Wasn't that the school?
Yeah, they walked off LSU in the, I forget if it was the regional or super regional that year. Yeah.
That's crazy. You get 2 or 3 great pitchers. You can go a long, long way. You've got anybody that can put a bat on a ball. Ole Miss like slipped in the NCAA tournament like as the last team, I think.
Yeah.
And they won the entire thing because they just went on a hot streak. I mean, they were firing, what is it, Bianco?
Yeah, Mike Bianco.
The old LSU player?
Yeah, and
they were firing him in like February. He was done.
Yeah.
He was gone. 3 months later, they're giving him a multi-million-dollar extension. Sports are crazy.
It's nuts. Tom Thibodeau got fired today.
Oh, did he?
Saw. Yes, the Knicks had their best season in 25 years.
Wow.
And they fired
Make it
him.
to the conference championship.
Yes.
And they fire the friggin' coach.
They fired him.
Unbelievable.
It makes absolutely no sense.
Makes no sense at all. He's going to get scooped up quickly and be a head coach for another team right away.
Dude, like he did it with the Knicks. Like
exactly.
That's very
the Knicks
impressive.
are broken. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time they did anything?
That was their first conference title in 25 years.
Got to go to Pat Ewing.
I tell Knicks, if Knicks fans in the past, if they made fun of the Pelicans, I'm like, you're making fun of me. But since the Pelicans became a franchise, we had the same level of success.
What was that? Pat Ewing? It was like, who was the guard? Smart?
Yeah. Starks, yeah.
Geez, Starks, yeah. Geez, and Pete's. That's like a generation and a half ago.
Yeah, and it's not, as a basketball fan, it's not like, I mean, they have good players, but, I feel like the coaching is a big part of
well,
why
every
they were.
team's got good players. You only need a few.
Yeah, but it's not like that. He has like top 5 players. Like it's a system that works, and now they're getting rid of that system. It's just very confusing.
No, that's New York.
Yeah.
No, I'll never forget. Now, no one would pick the old Giants coach who won 2 Super Bowls and went to Jacksonville.
Tom Coughlin.
No one would pick Tom Coughlin over Sean Payton. No one. Very few would pick Eli Manning over Drew Brees.
Yeah.
The Giants won 2 Super Bowls. The Saints won 1. both the Giants and Saints. The Saints went 7-9 3 years straight in the mid-teens, like 15, 16, 17, 14, 15, 16, something like that, before Jeff Ireland came in and straightened out the drafts.
Yep.
Sean Payton and Drew Brees of the Saints went 7-9 3 straight years. I think Coughlin had 2 years of something like that.
Yeah.
He got fired in New York, and Payton got an extension and a raise.
Yeah.
For 3 straight 7-9 years.
It's crazy, man.
So it's just different markets, different expectations, different money level.
Yeah.
Different, being able to absorb making a wrong decision and having to make up for it. Knicks have been crappy for decades, and they're still viable.
100%.
And
you got to look at owners. Whenever something like this happens, like James Dolan is known to be like
impulsive.
Yeah, like the opposite. And people get on Gail all the time, but she is not. And I'm not saying she's a perfect owner, but she's the polar opposite. Like some owners are not involved at all, and some owners meddle. And when a coach like this that's just had success gets fired.
No, you're going the farthest you've gone in a quarter century, and you gas the coach.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Just speculating. Maybe there's some personal beef with him and the owner.
Yeah, no, there's got to be.
That makes as much sense as anything else.
Yep. Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, is hiring. Go to their website, latrim.com. Dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of openings for you. Have you been to latrim.com? If you're looking for a job, want to change jobs, change careers, a career at Latrim, some of those employees have been there for decades and decades. Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Latrim is spelled Laitram, Latrim.com. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, the ice raid of the water retention pond construction site on Mirabeau off St. Bernard Avenue is ridiculous. There's no benefit to catching these migrant workers, these illegal aliens. What is gain? Doesn't help us. Puts a major water mitigation project on hold. And we spent a lot of federal resources and tax dollars rounding up a bunch of construction workers. It's insane. Spend that money on violent criminals, people that are hurting us, not helping us. I don't care what construction site it is with illegals or migrant workers. Why do we waste time on that? But one that is a water mitigation, a flooding mitigation site in New Orleans is insane. What a waste of time. Doesn't help us, only hurts us. The chemtrail legislation in Baton Rouge blowing through the House. I'm sure it's a Senate bill. It'll blow through the Senate. I hope Jeff Landry doesn't sign it. Banning chemtrails. I would just love to see a site where a jet aircraft is getting some chemical fueled up in its, first off, in containers that then can spray it out like a crop duster can. Where is that aircraft? The only ones I know of are crop dusters, which are mostly prop planes. And I know of these planes that will literally like scoop up water and drop it on a fire. I don't know of too many. I've never seen video of chemicals or photos of chemicals being loaded into modern aircraft in 2025 and the planes spraying chemicals in the air to change the weather or influence us, make us think differently. But there's legislation in Baton Rouge that passed the House, like 2/3 the vote. It's going to pass the Senate. And it just makes Louisiana look dopey. We might as well have legislation seriously banning Casper the Ghost because chemtrails do not exist. Condensation coming off of a plane's wing, off of a jet engine, producing a hot exhaust high in altitude where it's cold. Yeah, condensation trails all day long. Contrail, yes. Chemtrail, no. Doesn't exist. Fantasy. And you should hear the legislator talk about it, especially when she's questioned. Just crazy answers. They do it. They know who they are. It's State Rep Kimberly Coates from Ponchatoula. Yesterday, I said State Rep Kimberly Coates from Ponchatoula apparently has been drinking too much strawberry wine. Just beyond loco, crazy, embarrassing legislation. Makes us look dopey. A mayoral poll is out. JMC Analytics. Helena Moreno, 52%. Oliver Thomas, less than half, 23%. Arthur Hunter, less than half of Thomas, 11%. 15% undecided. Crazy. I knew Helena Moreno. I think Helena Moreno is going to win. I knew she would be leading in the polls. I figured it would be much closer, more than double. Plus, if the election were today, there wouldn't be a runoff. She'd win in the primary. Jailbreak day 18. Antoine Massey still at large. He posted a video on social media yesterday. Today, they raided the house where the video was filmed, was recorded. Derek Groves also still at large. Day 18, jailbreak. Boy, the Ukraine drone attack. I mean, first off, social media is nauseating. So many like pro-Russia, pro-Putin people on social media. I know a lot of it's bots and stuff that's just made up, but a lot of it's real. A lot of it's real. I don't want war. I don't know many people, even like Army Rangers, Navy SEALs, the people that have been training for it. No one wants war. Real people, real men and women do not want war. Only crazy people want war. But Russia invaded Ukraine. Russia is our enemy. Putin is a murdering dictator, just a worthless individual, a criminal. And Ukraine is a democracy and an ally. This is beyond simple. And so many people are siding with Russia and not Ukraine and blaming Ukraine for the war. They got invaded. Like they're supposed to concede 25% of their country to Russia to end the war? What the United States should be doing, the European Union, flooding Ukraine with weapons to take Russia out. That attack, that secret Trojan horse type attack was historic, was devastating, was amazingly done. No, Slava Ukraine, huh? No, un-American to be pro-Putin, pro-Russia, and anti-Ukraine, and making excuses. When's the last election in Ukraine? When's the last legitimate election in Russia? We're talking about Putin and Russia. Wake up, people! Wake up! The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can anymore. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
As New Orleans as coffee in the morning and as New Orleans as coffee in the morning and raw oysters for lunch. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
This is one of the greatest headlines of all time. It's at NOLA.com. They came up with it. Former LSU star Olivia Dunn flaunts athleticism at Sports Illustrated swimsuit runway show. Flaunts athleticism? All right. Now, to be, kind of realistic on this, Olivia Dunn was an All-American gymnast some of those years. Part of a national championship gymnastics team. She's a legitimate college athlete. She's also a social media phenom. Now, she wasn't on the LSU gymnastics team because she didn't deserve to be there. She earned it and deserved to be there. All-American. And she did do a split, was just walking and did a split. I mean, I'm thinking about just like, my God, going to the hospital. Me.
Yeah.
Couldn't even get foot off the ground, be 2 feet away. So she's walking, all of a sudden does a complete split. Legs are totally split. But I think what the headline should have said, and anyone, if you watch the video, Mario?
Oh, no, I haven't.
All right.
I'm not up to date with my Olivia Dunn content.
Well, I saw the video on Twitter, and former LSU star Olivia Dunn flaunts her athletic body in a thong bikini.
Yeah. She's flaunting something, but it's not.
Yeah, no, her butt's exposed. She's got a great figure. She's like 23 years old. I mean, she's an all-American gymnast, so she's in great physical shape. Beautiful girl, beautiful figure, beautiful legs. She's in a bikini.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those are a lot of the headline is, just crazy, like flaunts her athletic skill. Look at the split she did. I'm not even clicking on the story. I guess I'll click on the story. And it has to be about the split, I'm guessing.
They got you with the headline.
Olivia Dunn may be the face of many campaigns and a popular influencer, but her roots will always be gymnastics. This past Saturday, a Sports Illustrated swimsuit runway show in Miami, the former LSU standout athlete finished her turn on the runway with a split. So I know. In a bikini. Actually, I guess it's really like a one piece, sort of. It's all connected, but it's bikini-ish. And then she does a split, and then it's a full thong in the back. And I don't know. I think if you post on social media, you want to see athletic Livy Dunn do a split, or do you want to see Livy Dunn's butt? What's going to draw more attention? I don't know. I think it's pretty simple. Anyway, I thought the headline was kind of humorous.
Yeah, it's a funny headline.
Former LSU star Livy Dunn flaunts athleticism suit runway show. Flaunts something else.
All I see is oil, honestly.
Exactly.
The oil just is.
She's lubed up and ready to go.
Drowning everything.
She's going to be assisting the criminals.
Yeah. Yes.
They can slip through anywhere. No cop could physically grab Olivia Dunn and she just squirt right out of them. Grab an arm and just squirt right out of their grip.
There's a P. Diddy joke to be made, but I won't make it.
No, don't make it. Don't make it.
But yeah, the oil. I couldn't focus on anything else, honestly.
Wow. That's Latinx, a.k.a. Mario Brothers. Anyway, funny headline. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon, 5 o'clock powwow. It's hot out there, but comfortable. 87 today was the high. Felt like 89. So we didn't even get into the 90s, much less feels like the 90s. But you got to have your air conditioning going. Mine's running 24/7. Not always on, but it's always turned on. The compressor's not always running, but when the temperature goes up, that thermostat lets the compressor know, and it kicks in and starts pumping that cold air. Fair and honest, Lucas and the boys at Total Maintenance put in that 3-ton carrier unit a few years back. All that bad boy's been doing is cooling down the house and lowering my electricity bill compared to that old inefficient unit I had. Now, fair and honest, Lucas and the boys, they kept that old unit going as long as they could. It was this round AC unit. It was rusty. Lucas had a nickname for it. He called it R2D2. Then finally it broke one time. He's like, dude, we're putting too much money into it. It's time to abandon this thing. I'm going to get you a new 3-ton carrier. It'll pay for itself over the years in energy savings. Yeah, my house got cooler and my energy bill went down. Go figure that one out. Fair and honest, Lucas and the boys, air conditioning experts that come immediately. If you're in New Orleans or Baton Rouge and your AC is not working right, or worse, not working at all, weekday, weekend, overnight, holiday, it doesn't matter when, fair and honest, Lucas and the boys are there. In New Orleans and Baton Rouge, if you need AC help, think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. If you need air conditioning help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. Every day we broadcast live from the Buddy Deliberto Total Maintenance Studios. Day 18 of the jailbreak. Antoine Massey with that social media post, that video yesterday professing his innocence. They raided the house today where the video took place, where it was recorded. That house is in New Orleans proper. No, just a few observations. In New Orleans, they raided the house the next day. You know, they interviewed homeowners, people that live in the house, whatever, probably arrested some. And lastly, they're very, very, very close to catching Antoine Massey. They're on his tail. They're on his tail forensically, digitally, physically. They're right on his tail. Derek Groves, there have been reports that they're together. Who knows? Hopefully so. They both get caught at the same time. That would be ideal. Let's see what this guy has to say about today's program. You like Dan Reel, Blue Boy, from The Real Deal with Dan Reel in the 4 o'clock hour. We hit a slew of topics. Moreno leading Thomas in the poll. Chemtrail legislation. The ICE raid. Jailbreak day 18. Ukraine drone attack. Carrollton and I-10 garbage truck. St. Bernard not into the international terminal. As usual, Blue Boy, you're right. Mañana, New Orleans, 4 p.m. Be here.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.